1-0 has surprised us many times. We are fighting for rank 3 here, especially with Labyrinth getting 6 points in the match versus Moon. It is up to the others, not to catch up, but to keep the distance as is and maybe put some pressure on Happy there as well. At the very least, this is rank 3 versus rank 4, and it's the fight for the bronze place. 1-0 had his practice sessions with Leon again. That was frustrating. That was at a day where I had a little bit of a discussion with Leon. What the flaw of this matchup is, or where the problems of this matchup lies. As in every other matchup, I am convinced that the problem for all other races is ghouls. Leon said, no, ghouls are fine. It's the gyros. And then I tuned into his stream and I saw him lose to ghouls 4 times in a row. I felt vindicated. It's an Archmage. It's a Crypt Lord. We stick with the norm. Starbuck in chat celebrating Labby's win. Yep. You will, at the very worst, start second round. But if you keep performing, man, leave focus in the dust. We got an Expo on the left-hand side. Of course, with the Crypt Lord, you also want to expand.
A player's force is under attack.
And 40 is quite fast here, I gotta say. Oh! Claws +8! That is a lot of damage. Okay, I'm here for it. Was that a power build early on? We're still building storylines. We'll take a look. That is super early aggro. Trying to snipe the Acolyte right away. Oh, can he reach? The Footman reaches. Okay, there is a backup Acolyte, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, good pressure. Love to see the Taskmaster is still up. That's good damage. Acolyte 1 down. Water Elemental pressure. 1-0 gets the ghouls around, but Beetles falling. Ghouls falling. The Ziggurat! Holy smokes, man! What is this destruction so far by Fortitude towards 1-0? Good leveling now, of course. We got Impale up. That will be a great help. Dude, 40 chose violence today. What the hell? But he's only expanding now. He was working on his tower before. Didn't farm too much. But yeah, 1-0's Expo hasn't started. And he's still chasing, still summoning.
Your YouTube DWSL commercial worked. So I donating.
Dude!
You do such an amazing job and have provided so much entertainment for free. It's the least I can do.
Obi's Wani Nobi. That's a great nickname, man. 75 euros, you freaking madman. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. That is crazy. Just like this Impale. He glitches through! Oh, this was such a big opportunity against the Forest. And the Water Elemental gets the cancel. 40 on fire. Are you freaking kidding me? Yeah, Bucky, I will check the build order after the game. Remind me, please, with a mention. Dude, is this the perfect early game or what? Claw enabled, of course. But no counter pressure. Ziggurat killed. Haunted delayed. Now level 3 Crypt Lord though. Can't lose momentum. The surrounds by 1-0. Not as clean as they probably should be. Obi's one and Nobi, that is a massive help. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Know that thing slowed down a little bit. 40 is mining. 40 is teching. 5 minutes 30. That's so fast. As always, the rule of thumb, 6-minute expo is quite alright. That should be the measuring stick. 7 minutes is quite bad. Depends a little bit on how long you were able to prevent the undead expansion. But 5 minutes 30 is crazy. 40 has to work on levels, but it doesn't seem to be a priority for him. He got the staff against the impale surrounds, which I love as a safety mechanism. Damage is done. Expo is delayed by so much. Tech a minute later. There's a lot of advantages for 40, but never underestimate a Crypt Lord. Gets claws +8 now as well. Also a tele staff against the threatened footman block. And with boots, he can run this cooldown. Courtesy of claws. Ka-ching! 2.6. This Crypt Lord also kind of in need of a dagger. He's blocking himself for some more Archmage shots. Dude, 40 is still so far away from level 3, yet he is dominating. And now the ghouls and beetles are all by themselves. No hero support. There is a surround, but it's a little bit of an invite, isn't it? Staffing out. He's super safe. And not a single point of counter pressure by 1-0 so far. Shop is up, so we can heal. It's not even too much damage on the footmen. The few footmen that were hurt were safely in the base at like 50%. And tech is done. All I can say towards this early game is wow.
Players' forces are under attack.
Classic 40 play. Zeppelin Shredder. I don't think there's too much 1-0 can do, especially now when he can keep his Archmage safe. Puts him in the second row, away from ghouls, beetles. Impale could ruin the creep. But the control... Oh! He dodges the impale, but of course you can't pick up the troll, and that was a sweet snipe by 1-0. Longest range impale possible. But of course also quite a commitment. 40 flexing a little bit here. But another region scroll is absolutely necessary. By the way, if you impale a backflipping troll, that should give like extra style points or something. That was lovely. Fortitude caught up in levels. Being on the left-hand side keeps the Zeppelin with the army. As fiends arrive, we don't go defend. We don't need it. We just go to tier 3. Very, very fragile bases, but since 1-0 was never really able to cross the map, there's no need for that.
A player's forces are under attack.
And mass air is coming. And we've seen plenty of times how Griffins can destroy undead in the late game. Because Crypt Lord is an anti-ground hero with Impale. Cannot attack air. Crypt Lord trying to bait a Stormbolt here more or less. There we go to prevent that Impale. And the Zeppelin is right there. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we got early web. Hit careful, but more Stormbolts, but also more coils. Leaning into each other. Counters around with the fiends. So there's no surface area. Interesting. Very rare to see that a DK Has to spend his entire mana defensively in this position. Fiend down. Does 40 even need the tier 3 units, dude? He's so good with Archmage, Mountain King, Footman alone. Paladin coming. Mountain King 1.8. Invo Potion Heal Scroll.
A player's forces are under attack.
What's the play 1-0? Neo, can you web griffins and possess them? You can. In Direct Strike, but not in real Warcraft. This has led to a lot of confusion in the past year, as some mechanics are different in Direct Strike than they are in Melee Warcraft. So you're not the only one to ask this. Cryptlord 4, usually you could pock out over this, especially if it's an early game, because ground control is so good. But Eer is coming. Mass Eer is coming. With gyros, with griffins. And that's just a town portal, right? Lots of workers down, TP. Can you get another? Close. Dude, this expo hasn't seen a single point of damage. Mental. Third group in aviary. The birdies are coming. And of course gyros to hold against an incoming destroyer push, which seems to be the only option that's left. I mean, you could transition into banshees if you got the gold, but it's kind of on the lower end. 40 is still so rich. He's gonna be at 80 in no time. Need some farms though, has to be said. Love the balance of resources. 300 lumber still left after upgrades. Stormhammers up. Flak cannons up. Attack upgrades coming. Is now in time with the farm as well. Speaking of farm, Mountain King rising towards level 2. This is the big push. We don't have too many knights. We only have one. And 40 is a bit out of position. So far it's only towers, which doesn't matter too much. We don't see an Impale Nova spam onto workers. That would be a classic happy play. So we sent the gyros in first to clear the air for the griffins. But so far, good webs. We still get good kills in. First destroyer down. Everything is so hurt. And you can't coil everything. 1-0 is just bleeding units left and right. Impale as much as you can. Pretty late, to be fair. That Nova hits well. And 1-0 is still contesting. Needs to keep the production up. We have a mana stone and a health potion left. Careful 40.
A player's forces are under attack.
Only one staff. No orb, no shop, no potions. Shredder repair. Wool touch. Back to 65. This time, not too many air units. Defensive impale. Second to last coil before the mana stone. Always a healthy mix of units in the air. Griffins, gyros, trying to kite. 1-0's Fiend Micro, of course. The best in the world. Now, this might be the knockout punch with the Fiends getting evaporated here. Not too much dispel. Needs it on the destroyer soon for a little bit of healing. Another Fiend down. Every Fiend is a huge win as it takes the anti-air control away. How's the Mountain King looking? Has to hope for some bashes. Levels for 40 not that great. Supply is even, but for how long? Takes out quite some griffins. Stormbolt soon. Got one now. Shredder is in. 2 more Fiend kills. Maybe 3? 40 has no lumber now that the Shredder is in the fight. That is a huge problem. Was praising him before for the resource management. We're getting 2 gyros here as well for now. But Fiend numbers extremely decimated. 1-0 with better resource management. Keeps it up with double crypt Fiend production. Not too expensive. The Shredder needs to heal ASAP. Oh, does he need the lumber? You can, of course, even out your resources with gold and purchase items. Just spend the gold. But Mountain King is level 3. Paladin is closing in on 3. And the Mana Stone is gone. Lich level 3 on the other side. 1-0 makes this quite a competitive game to how good Fortitude was early. And there's level 3 Paladin as well. I still think 40's in control. Town portal for a town portal after some econ damage is done. Zeppelin for vision. Shredder is back shreddering. And once again, no Banshee transition. Nice to see no A-bombs anymore after the Griffins were out. Tug of War continues. Oh, does losing the blacksmith block any tech trees? Oh, here we see the Impale Nova. Best use of spells now. Coil misses. Good start to the fight. Lots and lots of birdies now. Oh my, are we wiping these fiends? Would have loved to see some defense upgrades on these Griffins. Not the case. Mountain King in a bit of trouble, but there's Holy Light and a potion. Lich, careful, has to use the wand. Coil last second, man. The wand of the wind to the rescue. Mountain King dodges the impale, can still move freely, and knights are here to slaughter fiends once again. But 40 needs some production. He's floating tons of resources, full focus on the fight. Not sure if that's the best way when he can't get new units in, but it should be enough here. That is 11 supply, about to die. Archmage! Holy Light at the ready, super close. And the knights clean the ground as destroyers have been taken out before. Huge win for 40 with so many resources.
A town is under siege.
Papa J, thank you for the sub. Stun. Block. Holy Light. Needs an invuln. Oh, huge mistake. Unbelievable mistake. Invo potion, heal potion. I guess the game was somewhat over before. But yeah, of course, unacceptable, and then you lose. Ooh, this was kinda closer than the early game suggested. Some solid Fiend micro by 1-0. I have been wondering for weeks if this would make his way to the meta. Mountain King first by Fortitude. Man, we see it so much versus Night Elf. And humans were struggling a bit versus Undead. So I thought, is there a way to convert the strength of MK versus Night Elf into a strength against Undead? You gotta be very careful. As a melee attacker, you can easily be surrounded by Impale, Crypt Lord, Ghouls, Beetles. If that doesn't happen, you have a freaking war machine at your hands. But what can I say, guys? Great minds think alike. Starting with a claw again. So, seems like 1-0 doesn't have the greatest clue. Going for the Merc camp, which is Only really important if you play against water elementals for the dispel. It's of course a great jump start to level 2. And one of the best items, but it also takes some time. Takes a lot of HP. And Mountain King just going straight to the expo. What do we got? I can't see the item. Robe of the Magi. A little bit more mana is nice. For the Lich, it's gonna be amazing. But a robe is no zombie mask. Now we run across. This will be quite a surprise.
A player's forces are under attack.
Service by Don Dolare. I compared the creeping a bit. The last 2 and 3 times 120 crept the camp at Hammerfall. Everything was dead except the main kobold, which was at 30% at the time 40 arrived. This time it was at 100% and he had to do a final last hit versus the Trapper. That's the deep analysis that I love to see. Thank you, Dondo. So yeah, 120 enabled this a bit. And 40, just like an absolute boss that he is. He is the CEO of the Human Alliance. Walks in the base, kills an acolyte, walks away. Doesn't even have boots yet. And Footman, still going for some kills here. But that is also quite some mercenaries here. With the expo coming up on both sides. We have Bash over Clap. Bit interesting to me. And then we do this again, huh? Bolt. Kill. Just don't lose the MK. He is willing to sacrifice the town portal here. Huge moment in the game. 30 seconds for damage. Not interested in fighting at all. He only wants to be an exorcist. Unhaunt the gold mine. 40. Kills that expo, and again, no counter pressure. Portals away. 325 gold gone, of course. But staffs will be available soon. Next, oh, 40 isn't power building. He was mismanaging resources a little bit. That's gnarly. 1-0 now. The big lariat is coming. How do you deal with this without Clap and level 3? Or a staff. Or water elementals. Big question. The Cryptlord is level 3. What can you do? Militia and Prey? Who surrounds whom is the question, I guess. Blasting through mana. Berserker might be dead in a bit. Militia so far hold their ground. Little bit of repositioning. Targeting always on the beetles for full effect. One footman is chasing Berserker down. That's level 3. Big storm bolts now, but of course lots of losses here. But 1-0 has to do lots of kills. Yesterday versus live, 40 could always trust in the bash. Beetles, dude. Beetles, ghouls. He's walking really far for this one ghoul. And then he walks back for the defense. Interesting plays here. GG. Okay. You know what? There is a certain flaw to this Mountain King strategy. But this is also like no Clap. I expected this to be played with Clap. Well, whatever it is, we're down to a best of 3. And 1-0 has a little bit of momentum. The cheeky Mountain King play didn't work out. And we're going back to the norm. Crypt Lord. Archmage. And the first loser's pick for 40 is Concealed Hill with the Lab Creep. You know you have the time, right? Because 120 will be going to the expo. This will take time. Three farms so far. Get a big consumable here. Very important outcome, of course. Invo potion. Can be nice. Are you seriously playing one base?
A town is under siege.
In this matter. Needs a few more resources and then we'll have the tech, right? Without a fourth farm, I'd be very surprised to see anything else. Mega power creep to level 3, of course. Boom, boom, boom. 3 spots in quick succession. It's the tech. It's one base. He's still playing rifle pushes against this. Sweets around, but yeah, you're not interested in that. Couple of losses. That's alright. The main objective is here. And Water Elemental level 2. Still a weapon of mass destruction. Yeah, there's no answer to this at the moment. Re-expands right in his face to save a couple of seconds. Neat 40 so far, and that's the big upside of the strategy. Tramples on 120, but he's only on one base. Archmage can't get surrounded as so often. But it's the second cancel. Ooh, 40 is out dribbling him good here. This is working great. Not a single block anywhere. Water Elementals, Footman always ready. Archmage always in distance for impales. Can't catch him. And Crypt Lord is blocked. Oh snap! Got the tally step. Alright. No gold for an expo, but he goes for graveyard? Huh? This is amazing for 40. This is perfect. He's even going for the graveyard now. Yeah, I guess we can just call it. Almost. What's this mana, by the way? Not a single beetle. Not a single impale. There, on one. And a deny here. Look at him go. Look at him flex. Yeah, 120's cat can't keep up with Fortitude's micro here. We have an Invo Potion. We can commit easy. We don't even need that Invo Potion right now. Eh? Forty gets the second hero out before we have anything but Crypt Lord Ghouls. Not a Haunted, not a tech, nothing. He is saving mana for... Like, there's a defense to come, right? 40 will push into the main. And 120 has shown some great defenses against this. But is that it? I'm not sure. We got more Stormbolts here. Now we got beetles. Now we get more towers up. It all feels like too little, too late. But hey, 1-2-0 surprised me. Surprised me.
A player's forces
So he
are
can
under
build
attack.
spirit towers and fiends. Okay. That impale is lovely, but counter onto the Crypt Lord. There is a tele staff, but it's too late for that. Is he just dead?
A player's forces
Oh,
are
heal
under
scroll
attack.
saves him. Hot damn. Kato, thank you for the sub. Okay, 1-0 fighting with all the stuff he has. But it's also easy ghoul kills.
A player's forces are under attack.
And here's the push. If you kill the Expo, you kill 1-0 on map 3. With Fiends, of course, good shot at towers. This build was lovely. And not too many rifles here, right? It's only 3. But we get a classic mortar push. Decent kill though. That Mountain King turns out to be really nice. One to 0 is tacking at the 10-minute mark. Jesus. So late. It is so late. What can 1-0 do? An Iron Curtain would be great now. And here the mortars. If you protect them, they put on a lot of pressure. Impale so surely could have been a bit better. Fiends marching forward to put pressure on the mortars so they can't do anything. This impale was lovely. Oh, a kingdom for a lich here. Fiend piercing damage. Actually quite nice. That's a mortar team down. That's a priest down. 1-0. You gotta respect the fight after this disastrous early game. There's not much left for 40, to be honest.
Forces are
Priest down. Dual priest down. Supply is even. Let's see. Tier 2 is not too far away. This altar 10 seconds late. That's annoying. We still got 4 rifles. But Krypton is great against ground. Let's not call this over. The hold so far is good. But we're also not super close to level 5. Stressful game. Probably a bit more stressful than 40 would have loved to. Fiend kill hurts so much. And yeah, standing right there next to the Mountain King. That's of course an invite. What's up for 40? He has some resources. Trying to get the Arcane Tower up. But okay, he has a better spot now. When's the DK coming? We need a DK up in here. 4 and 3. Some kind of counter to the Stormbolt. Second production building down. Need the Fiends in masses. And if you're 1-0, you gotta act. Thanks to the Mortar teams. But that's what the Mortar teams offer. And too many Fiends falling here. Way too many Fiends falling here. Courtesy of Stormbolt. An amazing spell. Especially in these situations. Just pick up after pick up after pick up. If you don't have a Stormbolt, you get a bash. That's another one. Ah, turn around. Thanks. He played around that bash timing. Really lovely. GG. GG. Pretty much front to back win for Fortitude. This was a rather weak defense in the early stages. The first, what is it? 8 minutes or so? Very underwhelming by 1-0. At some point, he found his stride. That was alright. But alright is nowhere near enough to do anything to 40.
A player's forces are under attack.
We lurk around the laboratory. Just in case 40 is going for it again. And then you can interrupt this. Bit unfortunate that there's enough fire already. But, of course, that has a duration too. We start with a lab like we do in Human Mirror. Just for the fact that 1-0 will be busy with 1 or 2 spots before any aggression early. And so this goes on unpunished. What's the item? Flute! Nice damage for Water Elementals and Archmage. A solid damage boost for sure. 1-0 has been incredibly passive this entire series.
A player's forces are under attack.
In early games, that is. 40 with the 4th farm up the high ground. And no tech yet, so a classic 40 play with high emphasis on an Archmage. Secondary emphasis on expansions. We got a tanky Crypt Lord and 1-0 is marching across. That's what we want to see. We do have Impale, but the ghouls are trailing behind. He catches every single footman, leading to the first kill. Maybe the second, at least it's very hurt. But it's a lot about defense now. Who keeps the Expo downer? That surely is a cancel. No way. No way to prevent that. Oh, is there? No. Nah. Focus Fire is surely better, but no. Footman just walks it off. Water Elemental is still there as well. This time, these cancels don't come without losses. And 40 is teching. Okay. Playing that one base again.
A player's forces are under attack.
This time 120 should be better prepared. It should be way closer. But you're still up against Fortitude, whose bread and butter is these expansion cancels and these pushes. We got a lot of ghouls in position now. Usually they're holding the line here to prevent water elementals from breaking through. It's looking a lot better. 40 still getting ghoul kills, but buying more time. How much longer? 40 seconds. Can you hold 40 seconds? I don't think so, buddy. Oh, the Cloak of Shadows, so he doesn't get pressured into a town portal. Love to see it. Guys, this smells very, very, very much like a 3-0. 3-1. I don't know if you can recover from this unless you get like a hero kill. Or you have a phenomenal defense against this incoming push. But 40 made the right call. Not falling into the shenanigans of like Expo cancel versus Expo cancel. And it remains true. 120's weak matchup is the humans, where Labby and Happy thrive currently. 120 lags behind, despite all the practice with Leon. But hey, let's hope for a miracle defense. Rifle, Caster, Mountain King. Very similar to what we've seen before. I don't think many people expected 2 rifle pushes in this series. And it's only a rifle push. With Flute, it's a bit, you know, empowered. But that's about it. Oohooza! Thank you for the 43. Archmage still very hurt. Needs the priest. Might be an opening here. We are teching already. We're teching like more than 2 minutes earlier than before. Expo up as well. This Archmage HP is really worrying, but there's also no impale. Needs to do it with the surround. Gets it! The town portal was used before. 40 is gonna lose the Archmage, isn't he? Heal scroll can still be used. There was a little bit of healing, but there's no way to fight out there. He's trying so hard. Heal scroll, Beetle, gone. No way he opens up that surround. 6-second try. He finds a way out to the left. Still no mana on the Crypt Lord. Run, horsey, run. And now this might turn into a slaughter with the 2 Water Elementals up, with the Archmage safe. Oh my god. Rifles also very, very close to Beetles and Ghouls. But what does 120 have left? This Hail Mary should have won him the game, but 40 knew pretty much exactly how far he can take it. Came surprised, almost as if this is a bait. And now the floodgates are open. For the Crypt Lord, who has an invuln, but he's stuck. Any chance to fight out? Otherwise, this series is over. Great responses by 40, who is in a tremendous spot.
The town is under siege.
Oh, he forgot the altar as well. Gotta say, guys, 120 is Not playing well today. There was no real need for some of the flaws here in this. So no tier 3. No DK. Resources were there. Archmage still playing this so fragile. Can he get another Houdini? Mountain King has mana for a bolt. There's just so much stuff. How heavy does he have to pay for this Archmage kill? Level 4 helps a little, makes the revive more expensive, but 120 gets the kill. On the cost of 1 Fiend, maybe 2. No mana regen at the moment. It still feels like he cleans this up like it's nothing. 40's army reaches his peak soon. Archmage kill keeps 120 in the game. We don't have the resources for a Tavern revive yet, but soon. We're feeding the Crypt Lord quite high. Maybe the series isn't over. Archmage back but bruised. Second time we don't see a shop here. I mean, we have very limited resources. We have priests for the healing. Just, quote unquote, have to be careful. Can this Crypt Lord reach level 5 and dominate the ground? Love this Mountain King play. Super solid. Stormbolt, another kill. Is that level 3? Not yet. It's also not level 3 because he was too far away. And mortars are here. Yeah, 120 has to engage at some point. And you force game 5.
A player's forces are under attack.
We don't have tier 3, by the way. DK brings mana pots. Impale enabled. Kinda nice. Statues. More statues. But that's number 3 then. Without Destroyer Morph. He just simply doesn't have resources for it. Come and collect it. Let the mortar team do its job. 1-2-0-1 mistake away from losing the series. Catches the priests nicely. And we do have plenty of corals, but it's just too much damage at this point, isn't it? Zero holding on to dear life. And 40 is marching forward. One step at a time. And it's always draining resources to keep this tower up. 3 more impales, more or less. Deny on the water elemental. There's been so many good denies. Trying to snipe a little bit, but if you use the coil offensively, you don't have it defensively. So it's basically a 1-for-1 trade. And fiends are very expensive. And slowed. Love the slow. The one added sorceress, man. The amount of control she offers is grand. There's no unholy aura so far, and then fiends are a little bit clunky. Another kill. We have established a very solid food lead. All about the mana at the moment. All about some kills. He wants level 5 so desperately, man, but it is still not level 5. And of course, there's also no tag. Not enough damage output with all the hurt fiends, all the lost fiends too. Bit of an angle to go for the mortars. Doesn't work. Now we got the shop. And now we got the regen scroll. And now we got the available mana potions. Is this checkmate? Only tier 2, man. Only tier 2. He's not even fully mining right now. Reoccurring mistake. Wand of negation up. Maybe a water elemental dispel for level 5. And then one last fight with level 5. Here it is.
A player's forces
Can Impale 3 turn the game? It's the only chance. Caught him. There's many more bolts. Many more bolts. One coil. Needs it. Ooh, he's playing with fire here. Oh, pump fake 40 to force 1-0 into the one last remaining info potion he got. Hail Mary, Mountain King. The tower has disappeared. So will the DK as it looks. RIP! And Fortitude. This is unlosable, isn't it?
forces are under attack.
No more healers. It is a solid number of fiends. It is. But Mountain King throws the hammers. We're pushing forward to deal with the mortars. That's okay. But it's always a 1-for-1 trade. And now he can do pretty much whatever he wants. One more impale in 4 if he lives for so long. Archmage gets him. The roach has been burned and Fortitude wins the high profile match against 1-2-0, staying 3rd in the league with 5 points to his account. And brings the rifles back, man. A bit disappointing, this performance by 1-2-0 today, to be honest. I expected more.